Satellite Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV in conjunction with Colfax High School presents Viking pregame. A look at today's Colfax Vikings Girls game. And now, Viking pregame.
Good evening and welcome to the NLWN-TV studios. I'm Rick Olson and we're getting ready to bring you girls high school basketball action as the 15-6 Colfax Vikings, who are 9-4 in the Dunn St. Croix Conference, will be taking on the 17-5 Fall Creek Crickets, who are currently 10-2 in the Western Clover Belt Conference, in a rematch of their meeting back on December 7th, where the Crickets came out on top 67-54. Tonight, the Vikings are coming off a heartbreaking 35-34 Valentine's Day loss to the Mondovi Buffaloes, while the Crickets are coming off a 57-28 win over the Cadott Hornets. And that was also on Friday. Coming up in this edition of Viking Pregame, we'll take a look at tonight's rematch between the Crickets and the Vikings. Then we'll get Coach Serrar's perspective on tonight's game in Coach's Corner. Even though this is a non-conference game, since the Dunn St. Croix Conference is preparing to wrap up the season's conference schedule on Thursday, we'll take a quick look around the conference to see where things stand. Following that, we'll send you out to Colfax High School, where our broadcast crew will bring you all the play-by-play action of tonight's final girls' home game of the regular season. So it's time to get ready for some exciting high school girls basketball. All that coming up right after this brief timeout as you're tuned to Viking Pregame on NLWN-TV.
I don't remember how it started.
Go to that.
Our back and forth. It always came back. You probably don't remember what you told me.
That was perfect.
But I heard every word.
Welcome back to Viking Pregame, where we're getting ready to bring you all the action of tonight's girls' non-conference game as the 15-6 Colfax Vikings, who are 9-4 in the Dunn St. Croix, are taking on the 17-5 Fall Creek Crickets, who have a Western Clover Belt Conference record of 10-2. The Vikings were defeated on a last-minute shot by the Mondovi Buffaloes 35-34 on Friday, while the Crickets defeated the Cadott Hornets also on Friday 57-28. Now tonight's game is a rematch of the game played between the Crickets and the Vikings back on December 7th, where the Crickets came out on top 67-54. Now, in that loss to Mondovi on Friday, the Vikings controlled much of the game after allowing the Buffaloes to open an 8-0 lead. From then on, in the first half, the Vikings outscored the Buffaloes 17-4 to hold a 17-12 halftime lead. In the second half, the Vikings again scored 17 points, but allowed the Buffaloes to score 23, with the final 2 points coming with only 26 seconds remaining. The Vikings still had some chances, but just couldn't take advantage of those and suffered the 35-34 defeat. Now, leading the way for the Vikings in that effort was junior Sierra Shipman, who hit on 5 field goals, 4 of which were three-pointers, and going 3 for 4 from the charity stripe for 17 points. Long pass comes in to Bovey. And to Shipman, three-pointer. She hit the three. Nothing but net that time. And the Vikings back on top.
She has 3 threes, 12 points.
She was followed by junior Jordan Bovey, who added another 8 points to the Viking effort with 2 field goals and going 4 for 5 from the free throw line. Rebound chased down by Bovey. She drives in, she puts it in, she scores, and drew the harm. Tonight, the Vikings continue to try to polish their game and prepare for the WIAA regional tournament next week as they step out of conference play to take on the Fall Creek Crickets in a rematch of their game back on December 7th. That Saturday afternoon, the Crickets came away winners 67-54. The Vikings played with high energy and worked hard, but just had no answer for the long arms of Fall Creek's Jasmine Hoyer and her deadly shooting, as well as plugging up the middle on defense. And when the Vikings did find an answer for Hoyer, the Crickets utilized the shooting of Sophie Schmigdahl and Becca Sturz. Those three accounted for 57 of Fall Creek's 67 points. Now this season, the Crickets are scoring an average of 60 points per game while giving up an average of 40. Now, in that game against the Vikings, leading the way scoring for Fall Creek was junior power forward Jasmine Hoyer, who scored on 7 field goals, including a three-pointer, and went 7 for 9 from the free throw line for 22 points. She was followed by senior forward Sophie Schmigdahl, who nailed 8 field goals, including a three-pointer, plus a free throw for 18 points. Junior guard Becca Sturz put in 6 field goals, one of which was a three-pointer, and went 4 for 4 from the charity stripe for 17 points. As a team, the Crickets shot 15 for 18 from the free throw line for an 83%. Now the Vikings so far this season are being led in scoring by Jordan Bovey, who's averaging over 14 points per game. She's being followed by junior Sierra Shipman, who's averaging over 10 points per game, while junior Bryn Sikora is contributing an average of nearly 9 points per game. On the boards, Sikora is pulling down over 6 rebounds per game, while Shipman is grabbing over 5.5. Now, coming up next, following this timeout, we'll get the coach's perspective as we chat with Viking head coach Courtney Serrar on Coach's Corner. You're tuned to Viking Pregame on NLWN-TV.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move, so I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day, I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
Time now to see what the coaches have to say. It's Coach's Corner, where they look at tonight's game from the coach's point of view. And now, Coach's Corner.
Once again today, we're talking with Viking Girls head coach Courtney Serrar on Coach's Corner. And Coach, in just a few minutes, the Vikings will take on the Fall Creek Crickets in a rematch of a game that was played back on December 7th. But before we get to that game, back on Friday, the Vikings dropped a heartbreaker to the Mondovi Buffaloes, 35-34. Your thoughts about that game?
Yeah, like you said, it was a tough one, especially since Sierra made the layup that would have, won it at the end. But at the bottom line, they made shots and we didn't. We went on a cold stretch with, maybe 6 or 7 minutes left in the game. And, but, sometimes losing teaches you how to win. And I think, hindsight, I think it'll be helpful for us moving into the playoffs.
I've got to say, I was really impressed with the Viking defense in that game. They spotted the Buffaloes an 8-0 lead, but after that, in the remainder of the first half, the score was 17-4 in favor of the Vikings. You held the Buffaloes to 4 points for the rest of the first half. That's got to do your heart some good.
Oh, yeah, they always defend. There's no secret about that. Our Achilles heel is definitely, on the offensive end. We just struggle to put the ball in the basket sometimes.
It seems as though that zone defense that the Buffaloes played caused some difficulty and maybe even a little confusion for the Vikings. Your thoughts about that?
I mean, we got, wide open looks, for sure. There was multiple, Sierra had a hot hand and, she had some looks toward the end that were open, that just didn't fall. Lyric had some really nice looks at the hoop that when it left her hand, I thought it was in, and we missed a ton of easy ones. Jordan's layup that got stuck, on the basket.
I haven't seen that in years.
Yeah, it just seemed like it wasn't our night, you know. Each starter missed a pretty easy look at the hoop, and I can live with that. I told the girls, sometimes it just doesn't go in. You just gotta, try to do what you can to maybe get a little bit more, high percentage shots. I would have liked us to see our wings attack a little bit more. But for the most part, we were getting good looks. So, I can be happy with that.
Now, during that game, my broadcast partner Dan made a comment that the Vikings usually see a man-to-man defense. And since in that defense, the defenders are continually moving, following their players, it's easier to spot open players for passes than against a zone when the defenders don't move quite as much because they're guarding an area. And that way it's less likely to spot someone who's possibly going to jump the pass and intercept the ball, which happened to the Vikings on a number of times. Your thoughts about his observation?
I thought that, in the game of basketball, there's, pluses and minuses to both playing man and playing zone. So, in my opinion, they played zone because they can't guard us man. So, they had to make an adjustment, and they did, and it worked in their favor.
All right, well, tonight the Vikings are going to face the Fall Creek Crickets, who defeated the Vikings back on December 7th, 67-54. What can you tell us about the Crickets and what might be a little different this time around?
Yeah, they're a good team. They were, picked early on to come out of our sectional. On top, they have a lot of, pieces that, are difficult to guard, and, we'll definitely have our hands full. We're going to play man defense. We might mix it up a little bit. Another Achilles heel for us is we've been kind of getting in some foul trouble. Our bench isn't very deep. So, we just have to kind of roll with it and see. We're taking it as a learning experience, in between, that week in between, the end of the regular season and the start of playoffs, where the brackets have already been released. These games don't really mean a whole lot. It's not a conference game. There's really no, I guess,
You got nothing to lose
for losing. So we're just going to try to use the game to get better for when it does start to matter again. And that's, the following week. So.
Now, the last time these two teams met, you were talking just a second ago about not having a real deep bench because their players, Jasmine Hoyer, Sophie Schmigdahl, and Becca Sturz, accounted for all but only 10 of Fall Creek's points. Any plans or adjustments that might keep them under control?
Yeah, we talked yesterday in practice how we definitely let the Hewer girl dribble too much in there and spin and make multiple moves. So we definitely have to adjust that and make sure that, we can't just let her dribble and make multiple moves in there. So we have to be better about, digging out the ball and making other kids make shots over good closeout.
Well, Coach Sarr, good luck on tonight's game. Hopefully the Vikings can keep driving toward those WIAA playoffs.
Thank you.
You've been listening to Coach's Corner, where they look at tonight's game from the coach's point of view. This has been a presentation of the Northern Light Webcasting Network.
You need some help?
Your tow chains are a little loose. Could spark a wildfire. I could show you how to secure them properly if you'd like.
Sure. Thanks a lot.
Anytime. You should check out SmokeyBear.com. They've got a bunch of tips on wildfire prevention.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Welcome back to Viking Pregame. On Friday, the Dun St. Croix Conference had a full schedule of games. In Friday's games, the Elk Mound Mounders continued their perfect conference record with a 65-23 victory over the Glenwood City Hilltoppers. In other action, it was the Vikings dropping a last-second decision to the Mondovi Buffaloes 35-34, while the Durand, Arkansas Panthers topped the Boyceville Bulldogs 50-14, and the Spring Valley Cardinals upended the Elmwood Plum City Wolves 49-39. Now, with only one game remaining for most conference teams, the Dunn St. Croix Conference standings are as follows. Having locked up first place are the unbeaten at 13-0 Elk Mound Mounders. The 2 games back and locked And good evening and welcome to Colfax High School, as we're going to get ready to go a little bit early tonight with the Vikings taking on the Fall Creek Crickets. Real quickly, starting lineup for the Crickets. Kennedy Tom, senior, number 10. Number 20, senior Anna Doherty. Number 22, Addie Haynes, she's a senior. Senior 24, Sophie Schmigdahl, and junior Jasmine Hoyer wears number 44. For the Vikings, it's the usual: Jordan Bovey, Lyric Nichols, Sierra Shipman, Bryn Sikora, and Clara Hajdukovic. And we'll turn it over to the scoring table.
Remove your hats and place your hand over your heart on the flag. As the national anthem is played by the Colfax High School F Band. Welcome to Colfax High School for tonight's non-conference girls basketball matchup between the Fall Creek Crickets and your Colfax Vikings. Introducing the starters for the Crickets: number 10, the senior Kennedy Tom; number 20, senior Anna Daughtry; number 22, senior Addie Haynes; number 24, senior Sophie Schmigdahl; and number 44, junior Jasmine Hoyer. The Crickets are led by head coach Jason Marksky. And now the starting lineup for your Colfax Vikings.
So we're getting ready to take on the Vikings versus the Fall Creek Crickets from Colfax High School. Rick Olson with you, Dan Petschow right along beside me, and Chris Olson on the camera. And we are just about ready for the opening tip-off. Out on the floor right now are Tom, Doherty, Haynes, Schmigdahl, and Hoyer. Hoyer's jumping center for the Crickets. For the Vikings, It's Bovey, Nichols, Shipman, Sikora, and Hajdukovic. Hajdukovic jumping center. Tip is controlled by the Crickets. Kennedy Tum on the dribble. She feeds it over to the right side to Doherty. Doherty down into the lane. That's to Schmigdahl. Then back out. And the ball goes up. It's tipped away, and the Vikings have it, and it's out of bounds, and it's going to be Fall Creek's ball. Tum looking to inbound. She gets it in to Hoyer, and shot is no good. Rebound taken down by the Crickets. Trying to go back up with it, I believe, was Hoyer. And she's going to go to the line for two, as we had a foul on Bryn Sikora. First foul on anybody. And the first shot is up and good. So first blood drawn by the Crickets. And the second shot is also good. 2-0, Fall Creek with the early lead. Nichols has the ball. Full court pressure being put on by the Crickets. Nichols gets the ball taken away, and they're going to get a 10-second violation. That seemed to be a little quicker than most of the 10 seconds that we see, but I wasn't counting, so I may be wrong. Haynes inbounds it to Tum. Back over to Haynes. High, wide, and right. Then between the circles to Doherty. Over to the near side to Kennedy Tum. Feeds it into the lane. Jump shot there is good by Schmigdahl. 4-0, Crickets on top. Bovey with the ball. She takes it up across the timeline. Gives it to Shipman and then to Nichols. Passing underneath. Shipman lays it up and in. Nice backdoor move that time. Shipman cut down along the baseline, and they found her. Crickets with it on the far side. That's Kennedy Tum. She gets it in to Schmigdahl. Out to Hoyer. Hoyer at the free throw line. And then it's over to Doherty. Doherty feeds it over to the far side to Schmigdahl, then out to Tum. Three-pointer is good. Kennedy Tum with the three. It's 7-2, Crickets on top. Bovey with the ball. Feeds it to Hajdukovic. Hajdukovic over to Nichols at the top of the key. She brings it over to the near side, then cross-courts it over to Sikora having it. Hajdukovic now down near the baseline. Hook shot goes up and in. Clara Hajdukovic with two. And the Crickets bring it back down. Vikings trailing 7-4. Addie Haynes swinging it around to the far side. This is Kennedy Tum. In towards the lane. Shot goes up by Hoyer. Is no good. Rebound. And it goes out of bounds. It's going to be Vikings ball. Again, full court pressure being put on by the Crickets. Sikora gets it to Bovey. Bovey up across the timeline. Spins. Hands it off to Nichols. Nichols over to the near side to Shipman. Then down into the corner to Sikora. Sikora dribbles back out high. Ball got tipped away. Sikora got it back. To Shipman. Tries to feed it underneath. We're going to get a whistle. And it's a foul on the Crickets. First personal on the team. Anna Doherty gets her first foul. Vikings inbound. Bovey with it. In the right corner. Out to the right wing to Sikora. Sikora to the top of the key, and then they swing it over to the far side to Hajdukovic. Drives into the lane. Forgot to take the ball with her, and the Crickets have it. Kennedy Tum bringing it down the floor, and an offensive foul being called on Kennedy Tum. She just ran over Jordan Bovey.
Yeah, I don't think she thought that she was going to stand there and take the hit, but big hit there, and good job by Jordan Bovey.
That's the first foul on Kennedy Tum. Second team foul on the Crickets. Bovey with it to Nichols. Three-point shot is on the way, no good. Rebound taken down by the Crickets. Hoyer with it at the free throw line, drives into the lane, puts it up, it doesn't go. Rebound taken down by Sikora. To Bovey. Bovey lays it up, puts it in! Vikings cut the lead to 1. Kennedy Tum with it, feeding it off to the right side, now back to the top of the key to Hoyer. And then back out to Haynes. Back to Hoyer. Turnaround jumpers, no good. Rebound taken down by Sikora. And Bovey has it. Vikings feed it over to the near side to Shipman. Then back out high to Sikora on the left side. Ball gets tipped away, and coming out of there is Haynes. She's on the left, feeds it down underneath to Doherty, back out to Hoyer. Hoyer then over to Tum, puts up the three, no! Rebound taken down by Bovey. Bovey through the center C. Over to the left side. That's Shipman. Back out high to Sikora. Then to Nichols on the left wing. She picked up her dribble, tried to bounce feed it to Bovey, and it was a little weak on the pass, intercepted and laid up and in by Anna Doherty. So Bovey with the ball, 9-6. Fall Creek on top. Bounce pass over to Sikora. She lost it off the leg of Hoyer. Got it over to Bovey. Bovey drives into the lane, puts it up. It's good, and she's going to the line for the +1. Looks like she got an elbow in the face on the way up. Foul is on 10. Kennedy Tum.
2 quick fouls for her.
And she's going to take a seat. Checking in for her is Becca Sturz. Sturz had a big night against the Vikings back in December when she put up 17 points. Bovey's free throw is no good. 9-8, Fall Creek on top. They feed it over to the right side. Three-point shot is no good. Rebound chased down by Hoyer. Gets it out to Sturz, over to Hoyer. Then down underneath to Doherty. Shot goes up, it's no good. Rebound taken down by Shipman. Bovey with it. Little stutter step to Sikora. To Hajdukovic. Pass to Bovey, lays it up, and they say she walked. By the way, also in the lineup for the Vikings right now is Addie Acker. Vikings putting on pressure of their own. Hoyer with it, feeds it down underneath to Doherty, who puts it up and in. Oh, check that was Schmigdahl.
Yeah, strong move by Schmigdahl.
11-8, 3-point lead for Fall Creek. 11:25 to go. Bovey on the dribble. Feeds it over to Acker on the right side. Picks up her dribble, gets it to Hajdukovic, puts up from the free throw line, it's no good. And we're going to get a foul on Shipman. A little bit of a reach that time by Sierra Shipman. That's her first personal. And we're going to get a timeout called by the Vikings as you're tuned to Viking basketball on NLWN-TV.
January is Financial Wellness Month. Weight loss and physical fitness are common New Year's resolutions, but your finances could probably stand to be leaner as well. Dairy State Bank will post tips all month on Facebook and Twitter to help you get your finances in shape. You can also access a library of information anytime in our online education center. Visit dairystatebank.com and click on the Education Center under the Resources tab. Dairy State Bank, banking on relationships. Member FDIC.
Back here at Colfax High School. Fall Creek Crickets with an 11-8 lead over the Vikings. 11:09 to go in the first half. Crickets with the ball. Haynes to inbound, and she gets it to Sturs. Sturs across the timeline, feeds it over to the right side, then down into the baseline, and then back out to Sturs from the left. No good. Hoyer with the putback, and she got it to drop. 13-8. Vikings down by 5. Bovey across the timeline. Feeds it over to the right to Shipman. Down into the right corner to Sikora. Sikora drives the right baseline, backs back out again, but the ball went off of Hoyer and out of bounds, so it'll be the Vikings' ball. Adeline Acker to inbound the ball. She's looking, and she got it in. Got it into Hajdukovic. Spins, puts it up. It won't go. Rebound. Taken down by Schmigdahl. They get it down into the corner. Feed it over to Schmigdahl, who lays it up and in. Sophie Schmigdahl.
Little run here for Fall Creek.
15-8. 7-point lead. Shipman to Sikora, to Hajdukovic, then out to Bovey. Bovey at the free throw line. Ball got knocked out of her hands and out of bounds. It'll remain Viking ball. Checking in for Fall Creek is Cameron Dahlberg. Bovey has it. She's between the circles. Brings it over to the right side. Three-point jump shot is good. She hit the three. 15-11. Vikings cut it to 4. Haynes with it. Gets it down into the corner to Schmigdahl. Back out to Haynes. Then over to Dahlberg. Kennedy Tum to Hoyer. Back out high. Three-pointer off the back of the iron. No good. Ball got tipped and chased down by Sturs. Hoyer with a 3. She hit it. Jasmine Hoyer with a three-pointer.
She has 7 points.
18-11. Shipman with the ball. Gets it down into the corner to Acker. Then out to Sikora. To Hajdukovic. Over to the left side to Shipman. Then to Bovey. Bovey drives into the lane. She put it up and it goes in. Jordan Bovey with a hot hand.
9 points for her.
Sturs on the dribble. Feeds it over to the right side. That's Dahlberg. Dahlberg back out to Sturs between the circles over to the left side now. That's Doherty. Out to Schmigdahl to Sturs. Sturs to Hoyer. Turnaround jumper is good.
8 points for Schmigdahl.
20-13. Crickets on top. Shipman on the dribble. Gets it to Hajdukovic. Hajdukovic out to Acker. Over to Sikora. Sikora brings it back out high. Spins. Takes it into the lane. Puts it up. It's out of bounds. It went off of Schmigdahl. Lyric Nichols checking back into the lineup for the Vikings. Ball comes in, it gets taken away from Shipman. Hoyer with it. She brings it down the floor, feeds it down to Schmigdahl. Turns, puts it up. Ball taken out of there by Nichols, but then got knocked out of her hands by Sturs and out of bounds. So it'll be Viking ball.
Yeah, that was in my notes here for the first half, is that Colfax has to get back on defense just for moments like that.
Well, that one worked out okay.
Fall Creek wants a push.
Bovey with the ball. Across the timeline, stops at the top of the key, gets it to Shipman, spins, gets it out to Sikora on the left side. Back out between the circles to Hajdukovic. Then to Bovey, drives down to the lane, puts it up. It doesn't go, but she got fouled.
I think it fouls on 30.
And you are right at that. Becca Stirs with her first personal, 4th team foul. Jordan Bovey at the line. Shots up, it rings around and falls out. I think she thought she had that one, and she turned away from it and was all of a sudden surprised to know that it didn't go through. Second shot on the way, that one hit. Vikings trail by 7, 20-14. Or by 6, I should say. Stirs with it, gets it over to the near side to Doherty. Down underneath to Schmigdahl, who banks it off the glass and puts it in.
She has 10 points.
Bovey with the ball. They get it to Nichols, who tries to drive down, but she got her pocket picked. And Stirs coming down, and it's out of bounds, but off of Sikora. But it was a good play by Sikora to knock the ball out of bounds without committing a foul. Ball comes into Hoyer, and then they swing it around to Stirs, and then down into the corner. That's Doherty. Shot's no good from 3. Sikora with the rebound and gets it over to Bovey. Bovey across the timeline, feeds it over to the right side to Nichols. Nichols to Hajdukovic. Then over to Bovey on the left, drives the left baseline, puts it up. It's before the shot. There was a reaching foul on the Crickets. And I believe that one's also on Becca Stirs. Her second, 5th team foul. Bovey with a 3-pointer. It's no good. Ball got knocked away, and we're going to get a jump ball. Well, it was a pretty quick jump ball whistle, and that did the Vikings a favor.
Yeah, good job by number 44, Claire Hajdukovic, get her hands in there.
So the Vikings have the ball on the alternate possession arrow. Nichols trying to feed it down, picked up by Shipman down in the right corner. She dribbles it into the lane, and we're going to get offensive foul.
Who's that on? 30.
It would have to be on Shipman, I believe.
Huh. Okay.
It is, and it's the 3rd team foul on the Vikings. Shipman's second. And the Crickets bring it down the floor. I think she threw a little bit of a forearm as she did her spin move. Haynes with the ball. They get it out to Schmigdahl. Puts it off the glass and in.
Schmigdahl's got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 points already.
Nichols has it. They get it to Sikora. To Bovey. To Hajdukovic. To Acker. And to Sikora, to Nichols. Nichols to the elbow to Hajdukovic. They tried to get it to Bovey, but the ball went out of bounds. Crickets with the ball. Dahlberg, then to Hoynes, and then into the lane. Shot goes up and good. That was by Addie Haynes. (26-14), 12-point lead now for the Crickets. Acker with it. To Bovey. Bovey feeds it along the baseline to Acker. Over to Hajdukovic at the top of the key. Then to Bovey. She puts up a three. She hit the three. That was a big basket right there. Cuts the lead to 9. 4:29 to go.
13 points for Bovey.
Crickets feed it over to the right side. That's Doherty feeding it down low. Shot goes up and it goes in by Hoyer.
11 points for her.
And Bovey on the dribble. Feeding it over to the right elbow, and then they hand it off to Bovey. Driving down, puts it up, and puts it in.
Yeah, Bovey with the hot hand.
Crickets have the ball. They get it over to the near side to Haynes. Driving down, puts it up, it goes in, and she drew the harm.
Yeah, Falkirk finding their way inside right now. And just a little quicker than Colfax.
The foul's going to be on Jordan Bovey. That's the 4th team foul on the Vikings. Free throw is up, and that's no good. Rebound taken down by the Crickets. And Schmigdahl puts it up and puts it in. 32-19. Crickets up. Bovey with the ball, out in the center circle. Feeds it to the elbow to Hajdukovic. Turns, there's nothing there. Gets it back out to Bovey. Almost lost the handle. Puts up a three. It's no good. Rebound tipped around and taken away by Hoyer. Hoyer brings it down the floor. Top of the key, free throw line, into the lane, kicks it out. Over to Doherty, and then to Hoyer. Turnaround jumper's good.
Yeah, nice, pretty move there by Jasmine Hoyer.
(34-19), Vikings trailing, 2:47 to go. Hajdukovic with it on the left side. Gets it out to Sikora. To Nichols. To Bovey. Back out to Nichols. Nichols launches a three. It's off the back of the air, no good. Rebound. We're going to get a whistle, and I think it's going to be a foul on Hajdukovic. Yeah, she went over the back on the rebound. That's the 5th team foul on the Vikings.
First for her.
By the way, Clara Hajdukovic will be our Viking profile today. Pass gets tipped and out of bounds by the Crickets. Doherty couldn't get the handle on it. And so the Vikings will get it back. And Bovey brings it up the floor. She's over on the right side. Feeds it down low to Sikora. Knocked out of bounds by... Oh, they're going to say it was off of Sikora.
Got more defense by Fall Creek.
So Haynes on the dribble across the timeline. Feeds it over to the right side. That's Doherty. Down to the baseline. Gets it out to Hoyer. Thought about the three. Takes it into the lane. Kicks it out to Westrate. Then back into Hoyer. And out to Westrate. And she did a travel. Actually, her foot slipped as she was starting to put the ball to the floor. Bovey on the dribble, under 2 minutes, about a minute and a half left in the first half. Hajdukovic with the dribble just outside the arc. To Bovey. Brings it over to the right side to Nichols down in the right corner. Nichols takes it in at the elbow. To Hajdukovic, down near the baseline, banks it off the glass and in.
A nice move there by Claire Hajdukovic. She has 4 points.
34-21. Coming up on a minute left in the half. Addie Haynes with it on the near side. Gets it out high to Westrate. And then over to Hoyer. She put up the three and hit it. She's got a mess of those.
Yeah, 16 points for her.
Bovey over to Nichols. To Hajdukovic. To Sikora. Sikora feeds it out to Acker. Then to Nichols.
To probably play for one.
Bovey to Hajdukovic. Inside 30 seconds. Over to Nichols on the near side. To Acker at the top of the key. To Hajdukovic.
See if they can get it in maybe Jordan's hand.
And we're going to get a foul called on Anna Doherty.
It's not bonus yet, though.
That's foul number 6.
Her second.
Just a hair under 10 seconds remaining in the half. Acker into Bovey. Bovey on the dribble. 4 seconds. Acker puts up the shot. It's no good. And that's going to take us to halftime. With the score, the Fall Creek Crickets 37, Vikings 21. Stay tuned. Coming up shortly will be Viking halftime on NLWN-TV.
When you have that craving for a home-cooked meal the way Mom used to make it, rest assured, you can still get that meal by going to Mom's Restaurant and Pub in Colfax. Mom's is open daily, serving breakfast and lunch, and don't forget dinner on Friday nights with Mom's famous fish fry. The coffee is always hot, the breakfast is always delicious, and lunch will put a smile on your face and in your stomach. 225 Bremer Avenue, Colfax. Call 715-962-4617. That's Mom's Restaurant and Pub.
To get your lawn or garden to perform at attracting what you want, you first need to know what your soil is working with. That's where Midwest Environmental Consultants can help. Their soil testing service can give you a complete rundown on your soil's nutrition and health. They test for nitrogen levels, phosphorus, potash, micronutrients, minerals, pH, and organic matter. Let Midwest Environmental Consultants put you in control of your soil's health. Call Midwest Environmental Consultants at 608-468-2067. That's Midwest Environmental Consultants, serving Western Wisconsin.
C&K Construction is your source for high-quality concrete and construction work in the Chippewa Valley. Established in 2014, C&K Construction in Chippewa Falls is a leading concrete contractor proud to serve Eau Claire, Altoona, Menominee, and surrounding areas. Specializing in concrete construction, excavating, flatwork poured walls, and much more, they're right for all of your concrete needs. Call C&K Construction in Chippewa Falls at 715-559-1335.
Hear that? That's the sound of your life. Perfectly imperfect. But every time you drive after drinking, the music gets drowned out. Your life sounds pretty great. Don't let a buzz ruin it. Buzzed driving is drunk driving. Don't drive buzzed.
Time now for Viking halftime, with today's Viking profile and other halftime entertainment. That's coming up right after this.
Time now for Viking Profile, where we take a closer look at one of the Colfax Viking players. And now, Viking Profile.
Okay. All right, today on Viking Profile, we're going to get to know Clara Hajdukovic. And you're a junior here at Colfax?
Yep.
Okay. And we know that you play basketball, but are you involved in any other activities here at school?
Volleyball and track and field.
And what do you do in track and field?
I throw discus and shot put.
Very good. You're in the power sports.
Yeah.
Okay. When did you start playing basketball, and what kind of an experience has that been for you?
I think I started playing around 3rd, 4th grade, something like that. It's been good. It's allowed me to connect with people in my class and other classes, so it's a good team sport.
Okay, great. What is the most important thing that you've learned playing basketball?
Communication and attitude.
Okay, and both of those can really make the difference between a team that gets it together and a team that, you can't be a bunch of individuals out there. You got to be a team, right?
Yep.
Those are the two keys to it. So when you're not playing basketball or you're not here at school, what are other things that keep you interested or occupied?
I read. I don't know. I read, and then I have other sports that I do during the basketball season.
Okay, all right. What are some of those?
Last year I played club volleyball, and I practiced disc and shot put year-round.
Okay, all right. All right, here, this is coming. Pie, ice cream, cake, or cookies?
Probably a good pie.
A good pie. Yeah. And what is your favorite kind of good pie?
Cherry or rhubarb.
Okay, and I noticed you said rhubarb and not strawberry rhubarb. And yeah, I'm with you on that. I like strawberry pie, I like rhubarb pie. Don't put them together. Just make it one or the other, right? Okay.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm with you on that. Burger, brats, or hot dogs?
Probably a burger.
And what do you want on that burger?
Everything.
Put everything. Kitchen sink, everything.
Yep.
If you can put it on there, put it on. All right. Yep. Your favorite color and why?
Green. I don't know. I just like it.
All right. If you could have a superpower, what do you think that superpower might be and why?
Shape-shifting.
Ooh, interesting choice. Why would that be?
Because you can be anything.
Okay. All right. Now, if you had the superpower of shape-shifting, of course, you have to have a superhero name to go with that. So what's Clara's superhero name?
I don't know. I think I don't know. I would have to be named by the people,
Okay. All right. And that might depend on what shape you chose to be at that time. All right. Favorite NBA or WNBA team?
Lynx.
Okay, very good. The Minnesota Lynx. How about a favorite collegiate team?
Texas Longhorns.
Okay. All right. And if you could sit down with a sports personality from any time in history and just pick their brain a little bit, who do you think that might be and why?
Caitlin Clark.
Okay. And is there a particular reason why you chose Caitlin?
I think she's kind of leading the sports in the modern world for women. So.
Okay. Very good. That's a pretty good reason. We're talking with Clara Hajdukovic on Viking Profile. And Clara, what are your plans for after high school?
Probably attend a 4-year college for something related to biology.
Okay. How about a shout out to the family?
Just naming them.
That's up to you.
Hi to my sister and brothers.
Okay.
I guess.
Sure, that works. When people come to Viking games, where should they look for you on the floor?
In the post, probably.
Okay.
Box.
Somewhere down under the basket trying to make something happen down there.
Yeah, hopefully.
All right. We want to thank Clara Hajdukovic for joining us today on Viking Profile. Coming up next is more Viking Halftime.
You've been listening to Viking Profile. This has been a presentation of the Northern Light Webcasting Network.
Anderson Bridges, located in Colfax, Wisconsin, has been manufacturing prefabricated steel truss bridges since 1989. With hundreds of bridges supplied nationwide, we suspect you've crossed our path. It may have been on a pedestrian or bicycle bridge, or how about a snowmobile, ATV, or golf course bridge? Anderson Bridges is likely to have manufactured it. Founded in 1989, Anderson Bridges has been a family-owned company since its beginning and are proud to support the Colfax Vikings.
The second half action of today's Viking game on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
Elmer loves to giggle. Elmer's mommy told him that laughing can help when you have a big feeling, like when you feel happy. Make sure to celebrate when you're happy and laugh it out. Love your mind.
And welcome back to Colfax High School. Getting ready to start the second half. Vikings trailing 37-21 to the Fall Creek Crickets. Dan, how'd we get those scores?
Well, here's the scores right now for the Crickets. Their leading scorer is number 24, Sophie Schmigdahl. She has 12 points. Oh, and I'm wrong. Jasmine Hoyer has 16. And Eddie Haynes has 4. Kennedy Tum has 3. For the Vikings, their leader right now is number 12, Jordan Bovey. She has 15 points. Sarah Shipman has 2. And Claire Dukovic has 4. 37-21. Fall Creek leads.
And as you said, as we were going into halftime, it's kind of a battle of two players right now. It's Jasmine Hoyer for the Crickets and Jordan Bovey for the Vikings. The only difference right now, Hoyer has a supporting staff member, Sophie Schmigdahl, who's also put in 12 points. When these two teams met last time, Hoyer ended up with 22, Schmigdahl had 18, and Rebecca Sturz had 17. So it's kind of going by script, and well, we'll see how it turns out.
Yeah, I think Colfax, they'll figure something out here at half, and Fall Creek just has to keep doing what they're doing.
Crickets will get the ball to start the second half. Addie Haynes to inbound it. And she gets it into Kennedy Tum. Comes across the timeline. Stops way out high. Gets it over to Hoyer, and then over to the left side they get it down to, well, no, that's not Schmigdahl, that's Doherty. Then back out high and down underneath to Schmigdahl. Out to Tum, takes it into the lane. Jump shot by Schmigdahl is good. About an 8-footer. 39-21. Vikings trailing by 18. Bovey with the ball. She gets it over to Sikora on the right side. Spins, moves into the lane, puts it up. Shot was blocked out of bounds, and it will stay Viking ball. I think it was Kennedy Tum got a hand on it. Nichols to inbound the ball. Feeds it into Hajdukovic. Thought about taking the shot. Feeds it to Bovey, puts it up. It doesn't go, and the rebound comes down to the Crickets. Down the floor they come, and the shot goes up by Haynes. It's no good. Rebound battle for out of bounds, and it'll be Viking ball. Bovey brings it down the floor. Right through the center circle. Between the circles now. Takes it over to the right side, hands it off to Shipman. Down to Hajdukovic, out to Nichols. Nichols takes it into the lane, out to Bovey on the right. Bovey drives into the lane, turns, puts it up. No good, but she drew the foul.
Foul's going to be number 20.
It was Anna Doherty. That's her third, yeah. That was one of the things Coach Serrard said to me, is that they wanted to put some pressure on these girls defensively. Free throw by Bovey, by the way, was good. Maybe get them into foul trouble. 39-22. Bovey's second shot is up. That one's also good.
17 points for Jordan Bovey.
Coming across the timeline is Kennedy Tum. Gets it down into the right corner. Back out to Tum between the circles. Tum takes it over to the right. Back out high to Hoyer. to Sturs, then over to the left corner. That's Haynes, out to Tum, and she backs up. Now takes it over to the right side, drives down to the baseline, back out to Hoyer. Hoyer into the lane, puts it up. She got fouled by Hajdukovic. Hajdukovic got her on the arm, but the shot went through. So Jasmine Hoyer to go to the line for the +1.
Yeah, just a quick step there by Jasmine.
(42-23). Shipman with it, feeds it into the lane. Ball got tipped away, but picked up by Bovey and then knocked out of bounds off the Crickets. And the Vikings will keep possession. Nichols to inbound the ball. Nichols into Hajdukovic. Hajdukovic gets it out to Shipman. Then to Bovey between the circles. Drives down the right side of the lane, puts it up, it's no good. Rebound taken away by the Crickets. Down the floor to Tum, to Hoyer, back out, and we're going to get a whistle and a foul. That one's going to be on Shipman. She grabbed hold of the arm. That's foul number 3 on Sierra Shipman. Second team foul on the Vikings. Crickets to inbound. They get it in to Schmigdahl, then out to Sturs. Three-pointer's no good. Rebound, chased down, and Sturs had stepped out of bounds before she tried to save it in. Sikora, long pass into Shipman. Shipman has it between the circles. Over to Hajdukovic on the right side. She's high, wide, and right. To the top of the key, spins, takes it into the lane, feeds it out to Sikora. Three-pointer on the way, no good. And the rebound taken down by Hoyer. Then to Kennedy Tum, quickly down the floor, splits the defense and puts it in. Kennedy Tum with the shot. That's 5 for her. Bovey over to Shipman. Nichols had it, but it got knocked out of her hands and out of bounds. 44-23. Acker checking in for the Vikings. She gets the ball in to Bovey. Bovey over to Sikora. Sikora with a little shake and bake move, shot from the elbow is no good. Rebound taken down by Hoyer. Long feed pass down to Sturs, puts it up, it's no good. Rebound taken out of there by Haynes for the Crickets. Feeds it to Schmigdahl, then out to Kennedy Tum. Over to Hoyer, thought about the three, drives into the lane, turns, gets it out to Tum, drives the baseline, and she took an extra step. So the ball will go over to the Vikings, 14-16 remaining. Bovey to bring the ball back down the floor. And the ball gets knocked away. This is Becca Sturs. She puts it up. It's no good. Follow up by Kennedy Tum is good. So here comes Bovey back down the floor again. Vikings trail by 23. That's what they have is 23. Feed to Hajdukovic at the baseline on the right side. Back out to Acker. And then over to Bovey, and we're going to get a whistle and a foul.
No, it's a turnover.
Oh, they called it out of bounds. Well, they just about knocked Bovey over, but evidently it was a turnover. I guess it's a turnover if you turn the player over, right?
Right.
Okay. Crickets with the ball on the left side. They swing it back around to Sturs on the right. Sturs drives into the lane, tries to feed it down low, got knocked away, but they picked it up. Ball comes out to Grossinger, and then a turnaround by Schmigdahl is no good. We get a whistle and a foul And it's going to be on Schmigdahl, I believe. It is. It's her second team foul. Jordan Bovey brings the ball down the floor. Feeds it over to the right side to Shipman. Back out high to Sikora. Sikora outside the arc on the right side. Hajdukovic at the elbow, drives down to the baseline, puts it up off the glass, no good. And the Crickets come down with it. Grosinger gets it out high to Kennedy Tum. Over to Sturs on the left. Bounce pass into Schmigdahl. Out to Kennedy Tum, back to Schmigdahl in the lane, back out to Sturs. And they get it out to Dahlberg and then to Schmigdahl. She tried to go up with it and she walked.
Yeah, good defense by Colfax there.
So Bovey to bring it back for the Vikings. Coming up on the 12-minute mark. Ball comes out to Sikora, and we get a whistle and a foul.
Oh, it's going to be at 42.
So that's going to be on Joanna Grosinger. That'll be her third team foul. Bovey with the ball, gets it over to the right side to Shipman. To Sikora down in the right corner. Drives the baseline. Kind of stuck down there, got it to Shipman, but we got a whistle and a foul. And they're going to say the foul was down on the floor before the shot. Foul's going to be on Kennedy Tum. That'll be her fourth team foul on the Crickets. Acker to inbound it for the Vikings. Into Shipman. She puts up the three. She hit the three. Sierra Shipman with a three-pointer. 46-26. Come with it. Over to Sturs on the left side. Back over to the right side to Grosinger through her hands, but picked up by Dahlberg. Then to Sturs. Then over to the left side, and we're going to get an off-the-foot foul. Or not a foul, but a violation.
Yeah, if Colfax can get a couple stops, they can get it down to, like 15 and start making their way down.
Crickets to inbound. Grosinger has it. Gets it out to Dahlberg. High, wide, and left. To Grosinger. Tries to feed it down low. Ball goes up and in. That was by Addie Haynes.
She has 6 points.
Colby with it. Over to Acker. Puts up the three. Off the rim. No good. Rebound. Out of bounds. It'll be Viking ball. Crickets had a pretty good handle on it, but she couldn't keep her feet, and the ball escaped. Pass into Hajdukovic. Jump shot is no good. Rebound by Sikora. She put it up and in.
And Sikora with the first 2 points of the night.
48-28. 10:40 remaining in the game. Hoyer with it. Whistle, and she took an extra step.
Oh,
Fall Creek fans didn't like that one very much.
Oh, the old Euro step.
Bovey with it. She's between the circles. Stutter step, drives into the lane, lays it up, puts it in.
Yeah, big, strong move there by Jordan Bovey. 19 points for her.
3-point shot on the way, no good by Hoyer. And the rebound goes to the Vikings. And we're getting an illegal screen, I think.
And number 30.
On Shipman. That's her fourth. So Hoyer has it through the center circle. Feeds it over to the near side to Doherty. Shot goes up by Grossinger off the glass and off the rim and in.
Yeah, tough shot for her. 2 points for her tonight.
50-30. And Bovey on the dribble. Feeds it down to Hajdukovic. Tries to get it down low to Sikora, but got knocked away, and the Crickets come back down the floor with it. Over to the left side, and now out to Hoyer. Hoyer drives down, and then out to Grossinger from the elbow. It's no good. Sikora with the rebound. Sikora got pressure from behind, gets forward, lost the handle, and it's out of bounds. It'll be Crickets' ball.
Oh, I think they missed one there. Number 20, Anna Doherty, gave her a little push. That's what made the turnover.
Doherty has the ball right now, feeds it over to the left side to Haynes, then to Grossinger, and then to Hoyer. Hoyer takes it to the free throw line, drives into the lane, puts it up, no good. Hajdukovic with the rebound. Bovey over to the right side, back out to Sikora, three-pointer, and it's good! Bryn Sikora.
Yeah, there's that little run that I was talking about.
50-33. We have a whistle and a foul. The foul is going to be on foul's on Bovey. It's her second. And the Vikings come down the floor with it. 50-33. Hajdukovic backing into the lane, turns around, puts it up, no good. Rebound taken down by the Crickets. And down the floor comes Kennedy Tum. Then over to Schmigdahl, and she puts it up and in. And we're going to get a timeout on the floor called by the Crickets. And you're tuned to Viking basketball on NLWN-TV.
Mom's Restaurant and Pub in Colfax has just what you need when you have that craving for a home-cooked meal the way Mom used to make it. Mom's is open from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. daily and until 9 on Fridays with a complete breakfast menu. Lunch includes sandwiches, salads, wraps, and burgers, along with Mom's comfort food favorites, and don't forget dinner on Fridays with Mom's famous fish fry. The coffee always hot, the breakfast always delicious, and lunch puts a smile on your face. 225 Bremer Avenue, Colfax. Call 715-962-4617. That's Mom's Restaurant and Pub in Colfax.
Rick Olson along with Dan Petchow, Chris Olson, and the Vikings are trailing 52-33. Bovey with the ball right through the center circle. Feeds it over to the left side to Nichols. Nichols out to Hajdukovic. Hajdukovic tries to feed it into the lane, and coming away with it are the Crickets. Hoyer with it. Gets it over to Doherty, and then back out to Hoyer. Hoyer takes it into the lane. Back out to Doherty. Three-pointer on the way. It's good. 55-33. And Bovey with the ball. To Hajdukovic. Free throw line extended to the right. Out to Acker. Then to Sikora. To Bovey. Bovey spins at the free throw line. Back out to Sikora. Sikora over to Acker. Acker to Bovey. Bovey puts it up. It's no good. Rebound tipped around, and away come the Crickets. They get it into the lane, and the shot by Schmigdahl is no good, but we have a whistle and a foul. And the foul is going to be on Sophie Schmigdahl. It's her second. Vikings with the ball. Over on the right side, Hajdukovic down to the baseline. Gets it out to Sikora. Sikora on the dribble. Hajdukovic over to Bovey. To Sikora. Feeds it to Bovey. Tries to put up shots. Blocked by Schmigdahl. And down the floor come the Crickets. Reverse layup is no good by Hoyer. And we're going to get a whistle and a foul. Foul on Schmigdahl. That's going to be foul number 3. Vikings have the ball. Acker with it. Ball gets tipped around. And down the floor, Hoyer with it. And down the floor comes Shipman, puts up a 3. No, it won't go. And the Crickets get it back. Kennedy Tum on the dribble. They feed it over to the left side. Shot by Doherty is up, no good. Rebound taken out of there by Bovey. Bovey down the floor. She lays it up. She puts it in and draws the harm. So Jordan Bovey to go to the line. And they didn't put up on the scoreboard who the foul was on. Shot is up, it's no good. Coming down the floor are the Crickets. Westrate with it. Gets it over to Doherty. Doherty feeds it down. They get it down to the baseline. Back out high to Westrate on the left side. Back out high to Kennedy Tum. Back over to Westrate. From three-point land, it's up no good. Rebound taken down by Hajdukovic. And down the floor, the Crickets come away with it. They feed the ball over to Sikora, got it away, and Bovey feeds it down to Shipman, to Hajdukovic, lays it off the glass, and it's in. Clara Hajdukovic with 2. That's 6 points on the night for Hajdukovic. Kennedy Tum on the dribble, coming up on 4 minutes remaining. Down along the baseline. Back out high to Westrate. To Hoyer, and she puts in the 3. Jasmine Hoyer with another 3. 22 points on the night for her. That matches what she did the first time they met. Ball goes over to Hajdukovic. She lost the handle but got it back. To Sikora on the right side. Down underneath, we're going to get a whistle and a foul on the Crickets. And that's a foul on Emma Westrate. That'll be her first personal foul. Jordan Bovey at the line. The shot is up. And it's good. Second shot on the way. That one's off the rim. Crickets have the ball. They feed it over to the left side. Cross-court pass over to Kennedy Tum. Down low, and they feed it over and in by Hoyer. To Shipman. To Acker. Then they try to feed it into Nichols, but it got knocked away. And down the floor come the Crickets. Under 3 minutes to go. Kennedy Tum with the ball. She gets it over to Stirs, to Hoyer, drives the lane, puts it up. Ball taken away by Nichols. Bovey with the ball. Takes it into the lane. She puts it up. It was before the basket. We got a whistle and a foul. And that foul is going to be on Becca Stirs. It should be number 3 on her. And it's going to send Bovey to the line for the 1-on-1. A rash of substitutions now for the Crickets. And the shot goes up, it rattles around, it's no good. Ball went off of Nichols. No, it went off the Crickets. So the Vikings will have it. Acker feeds it in. Shipman tries to put it up, but she was escorted out of bounds, not too politely. She's going to go to the line. That's going to be a foul on Becca Stirs. Oh, check that. On Kendall Haynes, it's her first. And the first shot she missed. And she went 1 for 2 at the line. 60-39. Crickets on top, 2.5 minutes to go. Westrate, and the ball gets taken away. Down the floor goes Shipman, and it got knocked out of bounds just as she was getting ready to go up for the layup. Ball was knocked out of bounds by Kendall Haynes. And they got some of Shipman in the process. So she's going to go to the line. And this is a shooting foul. That one's good. Second shot is up. That one's good. Checking in for the Vikings is Sophie Huziga. And the Crickets bring it down the floor. Westrate has it, high, wide, and right. They get it out high to Grossinger. Then they try to feed it to Grossinger in the lane, and it's a little too high for her and out of bounds. So the Vikings will bring it in. Keltner on the dribble for the Vikings. She takes it over to the right side, now reverses her direction, back over to the left, feeds it down low to Huziga. Then to Widener, and then back to Huziga at the free throw line. To Keltner. Keltner to Nichols. Nichols over to Widener. And then the shot's up by Huziga. It's no good. Rebound tipped around, and coming away with it is Westrate. She brings it down the floor. Just over a minute to go. They feed it down underneath. Shot goes up. It's no good. And the rebound by the Vikings. Keltner gets it out to Widener. Widener over to Huziga, top of the key. Takes it down to the elbow, gets it over to Keltner on the right side. Lost the handle, retrieved it. Feeds it into the lane. Shot goes up by Nichols. It's no good, but she's going to go to the line for two. And that's going to be a foul on Joanna Grossinger. Oh, take that back. They said it's on Emma Westrade. It's her second. First shot's no good. And the second shot is off, so that one's good. (60-42). Coming up on 30 seconds remaining. Crickets get it over to the near side. That's Dahlberg. Feeding it over to the far side to Kurtz. And then they get it over to Haynes. That's Kendall Haynes. Ball taken away by the Vikings. That's Huziga. Ball got tipped away. And the Crickets with it and laying it up. It's no good by Kendall Haynes. And there's the final buzzer. So the final score is the Fall Creek Crickets 60 and the Vikings 42. We'll have a lot more on this game right after this timeout as you're tuned to Viking basketball on NLWN-TV.
Menominee Eye Optical can help you see the world for the beautiful place it is. Doctors Nicholas and Marianne Comro provide comprehensive and emergency eye care for all, including pediatric and special needs patients. Whether it's examination for glasses to cataract or LASIK care, or diagnosis and management of macular degeneration, and so much more. In addition, Menominee Eye and Optical's experienced opticians will help guide you to the highest quality eyewear for the best value. That's Menominee Eye and Optical, 520 Wilson Avenue in Menominee, where they specialize in quality personalized care for you and your family.
January is Financial Wellness Month. Weight loss and physical fitness are common New Year's resolutions, but your finances could probably stand to be leaner as well. Dairy State Bank will post tips all month on Facebook and Twitter to help you get your finances in shape. You can also access a library of information anytime in our online education center. Visit dairystatebank.com and click on the Education Center under the Resources tab. Dairy State Bank, banking on relationships. Member FDIC.
If your estate isn't looking quite estate-like, let Midwest Environmental Consultants landscape your estate right up to snuff with installation of retaining walls, brick patios, foundation planting beds, and so much more. Then they'll keep it that way with their expert lawn care service. Call Midwest Environmental Consultants at 608-468-2067. Let Midwest Environmental Consultants help make your estate the showplace of the neighborhood.
You have been tuned to Colfax Viking Girls Basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV. This copyrighted production of the Northern Light Webcasting Network and Colfax High School is intended for the enjoyment of the viewing and listening audience. Any broadcast, rebroadcast, or reproduction without the express written consent of the Northern Light Webcasting Network LLC and Colfax High School is prohibited. Stay tuned. Coming up next is Viking Post Game.
In November of 2018, our daughter Jana passed away. The outpouring of support was unbelievable. Support that we received inspired us to start a foundation called the Jana Kelly Memorial Foundation. And through that foundation,
we've given back in a lot of different ways, through projects, through different other charities that we've supported. We like to help Humane Association, and the Ronald McDonald House is something that's very near and dear to us. We've also recently, this last year, we actually built a tiny house. It's really exciting to be able to give back in different ways.
To learn more or to help financially, would find us on Facebook or www.janakelly.com.
Time now for Viking Postgame, with a wrap-up of today's Colfax Viking Girls game. And now, Viking Postgame.
And we're back here at Colfax High School, where the Vikings come up on the short end of a 60-42 score to the Fall Creek Crickets. So the Crickets sweep the Viking series from the Vikings. I guess that's the way you say that. Dan, why don't you tell us how we got that 60-42 score?
Yeah, here's the scores tonight for the Fall Creek Crickets. They're led by number 44, Jasmine Hoyer. She had 24 points. We had Joanna Grossinger with 2. We had Sophie Schmigdahl with 16. Addie Haynes had 8. Anna Doherty had 7. And Kennedy Tum had 7. For the Vikings, they're led tonight by number 12, Jordan Bovey. She had 22 points. We had Lyric Nichols with 1. Sarah Shipman had 8. We had Bryn Sikora with 5. And Claire Hajdukovic had 6. 60-42, Fall Creek gets the win.
And I'm not exactly sure what happened there, but it just looked like the Crickets were a hair bit faster than the Vikings and just a little quicker to the ball. And
yeah, there was some openings across the middle of the paint, and Fall Creek just maybe was just a little quicker tonight and found their way inside.
The other thing that I was noticing was the rebounding was very much in the Crickets' favor. I saw a lot of times where the ball went up, would come off the rim, and there were 4 black jerseys down there surrounding that ball and barely a white one anywhere near it. And it's really hard to get the win if the other team is going to out-rebound you like that.
Yeah, there wasn't a lot of threes by Colfax tonight, and but that wouldn't be surprising because Fall Creek was just a little quicker on D.
Well, getting ready to join us here is Viking head coach Courtney Serrar. And Coach, that's kind of a tough one to figure out what to do.
You know, people just make shots against us. I'm used to it now. They shot the lights out tonight. I would be surprised if they shot under 60% from the floor. I thought we did a lot of really good things, actually. So my only complaint was we didn't box out well in the first half and gave them just a couple, too many second chance opportunities. And, when you're shooting like that, you don't need any more opportunities. So I thought we could have been a little bit stronger with the ball a few times, but
you just made me look like a genius because I just got done saying almost the same thing, is that the rebounding, they were controlling the boards in the first half, and there were oftentimes 4 black shirts around the ball coming down.
Yeah. Otherwise, I thought we executed our set plays really well. I thought we had good timing. And, at the end of the day, this game doesn't really mean anything. So, it's not a conference game. Seedings are done. We were just trying to take a step in the right direction and work on, some of the things that we're going to need to be good at next week when, we want to be playing our best basketball. So you could tell that, they're doing the same thing, and they want to come out of the sectional as well.
And basically it's a case of, you have a young guest right there about to join us. And but, you've got a pretty good draw in the sectional, but the season isn't done yet. You've got a couple of games left. And this next one coming up is against the Durand, Arkansas Panthers. It is a conference game. What can you tell us about that one?
Yeah, they kicked the crap out of us the first time we played. So, we just got to go in and just be a little bit tougher and, be better offensively and that kind of stuff. So I'm looking forward to it. They just, regardless of the score, those kids continued to fight. And I was happy with the outcome. And I told them same thing has to happen on Thursday.
Well, thank you for joining us after this one. Vikings come up on the short end, and we'll be right back at it with you when we go down to Durand to take on the Panthers.
Sounds good. Thanks.
That's Viking head coach Courtney Serrar. And Dan, your comments about this?
Yeah, I thought Colfax played right along with them, and I just thought that Creek was just maybe a little bit bigger, a little stronger, a little quicker, and at the beginning of the game, I said Colfax has to make sure that they don't let Fall Creek inside because they didn't shoot a lot of threes against us last time, and they found their way inside. And I think that was the biggest difference of this game.
I would agree with everything that you just got done saying. And by the way, if there was any confusion, our cameraman Chris was a little under the weather and had to leave us. Dan jumped over and did double duty there, and I kind of tried to keep track of the points as best I could. And thank you to Dave Shipman for coming up and stepping in on the camera to finish out the game for us.
Yeah, we even need teamwork up here once in a while.
Sometimes. Say, don't forget to join us on Thursday here on NLWN-TV as we bring you Colfax High School girls basketball. The Vikings will take on the Durand, Arkansas Panthers in their final Dunn St. Croix Conference game of the season. Coverage is going to begin with Viking pregame at 6:40, followed by live play-by-play action on NLWN-TV. Also, you can join us tomorrow on NLWN-2 as we bring you Colfax High School boys basketball. The Vikings will travel to Glenwood City High School to take on the Glenwood City Hilltoppers. That's a Dunn St. Croix Conference matchup. Coverage begins with Viking pregame at 6:40, followed by live play-by-play action on NLWN-2. This reminder that the annual FFA Toy Show will be held on Sunday, February 23rd at Colfax High School. This is an all-day event, so stop by and check out all the agricultural toys. And don't forget the parent-teacher conferences will continue on Thursday from 5:45 through 7:15 at the Colfax schools. You are a vital part of your child's education, so be sure to participate in these parent-teacher conferences. This Colfax High School girls basketball game has been brought to you by Dairy State Bank, where they're banking on relationships. Midwest Environmental Consultants, soil testers for Western Wisconsin. Anderson Bridges, who've been manufacturing prefabricated steel truss bridges since 1989. Slayton's Technology, IT provider for the Northern Light Webcasting Network. Menominee Eye and Optical, with quality personalized care for you and your family. C&K Construction, concrete experts for the Chippewa Valley. And Mom's Restaurant and Pub in Colfax, comfort food the way Mom used to make it. Be sure to thank these fine sponsors for bringing you Colfax Viking basketball on NLWN-TV. So for Dan Petchow and Chris Olson and Dave Shipman, this is Rick Olson. That final score once again, it was the Fall Creek Cricket 60 and the Vikings 42. And you've been tuned to Viking Postgame on NLWN-TV.
You've been listening to Viking Postgame, a wrap-up of today's Colfax Viking Girls game. You can catch Colfax Vikings games by tuning in to any of the Northern Light Webcasting Network outlets. This has been a production of the Northern Light Webcasting Network.